welcome to Bears Banter. Tonight, my name is Bernard Muhammad. Tonight on the broadcast, we have Keith Floydnoy, Guy Moore, Tammy Harris, and Jay Beasley. Man, it feels so good to come on here talking about a victory.
Even when you lose, you win.
Yeah. Even when you lose, you win. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm just going to start off and say, I just had this, I had a feeling that they was going to come out, coming off a Thursday night game, you got 11 days to prepare. And Matt Eberflus, I have to give him credit. Luke Gessie, although I'm still kind of shady on you, Luke. But y'all came out with a terrific game plan. Y'all stuck to what y'all do best, and that's run the football. And when you run the football successfully, it opens up the pass.
Yep. Okay. Hey, Plank, I know you and Jay were the only two that picked the Bears on the panel. I mean, how you feel about this victory, Plank?
I feel vindicated and justified, actually.
You mean justified, huh? You justified.
I felt like the Bears, this was a good old-fashioned butt kicking.
Yes, it was.
Similar to what New England did to us when they had Brady a couple years back, and they ran up the score and everything else. By the end of the game, the Bears actually just had to take their foot off the pedal because they were actually able to do whatever they wanted to New England. So I haven't seen the Bears look like that in a few years. And now they 3-4 like most of the rest of the NFL. I'm excited.
Yes. One thing about this game is we were not embarrassed on national TV.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You almost regret to see us on national TV. You like,
absolutely,
we just get destroyed. Hey, Tammy, I know you had a rough day at work, but how you feel about this victory? Need something to put a smile on your face.
Well, I'm always happy when the Bears win. I can't say that I'm optimistic yet because I honestly just feel like I don't know because I don't feel like we know who's going to show up on the field from week to week. But, we'll take the victory. All we can do is hope that they get better from week to week and that they learn. Like we knew that this was going to be a rough season, but like you said, like you just said, I was hoping like we're not embarrassed. And, we've had a few games this season where we've been embarrassed. It's not horrible for us to lose when in a season where we're trying to get it together. But do what you do best. Stop saying we don't have an identity. We do have an identity. Just live your identity. And to Jay's point, they did that a little bit more tonight. But I'll take a victory. I'm happy when we win. I hope this continues. I hope they continue to get better, even if they lose. I hope that what we continue to see is growth and development and them gelling as a team.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just real quick.
Did you see this 33-14 victory coming, guys? I mean, did you see this coming?
No, I didn't. But you know what? Here's an interesting thing. Today I woke up and I wasn't feeling all that well. And I'm like, you know what? The Bears going to beat the brakes off these dudes, man. If y'all from the West Coast, y'all understand this, man. New England took a fade. They caught a fade. Man, I thought I saw Dan Jiggins and Noah Jackson out there, man. I mean, it's like you expect them. You have this feeling that you want them to kind of break to that next level to try to sort of get some type of clarity, at least win a game that should be winnable. And we were kind of let down last few games. And this was one of those games, man, they came out on national TV and they just beat the brakes off these dudes. And I don't even think the score is even indicative of it, man. I mean, it was nice.
You know what? This is one of those games that I know Tammy had been talking about really since last year. When is the offense and the defense is going to show up in the same game? This is a game to me that both sides. Matter of fact, special teams even showed up in this game.
Right.
All phases showed up at the same time, and I mean they was feasting for competing for interceptions. Roquan got 2 interceptions. The rookie got an interception. They ended up with 3.
Both rookies. Both rookies got interceptions.
Well, actually, what happened? Was it 4 tonight?
No, it's 3. I think
it was 3 interceptions. It was 3 interceptions. Roquan, Briscoe, and Gordon.
Right. Oh, you know what? But Robinson, the rookie, tipped one of those interceptions that landed in
did.
Roquan's hands. So the rookies were contributing tonight. I mean, a tip
They
ball
were.
by one rookie, 2 interceptions by Roquan Smith, then interception. Who's that? Briscoe
with the one-hander.
Yeah, I mean, that was nice, man. I mean, to see those young guys, and they got pressure tonight. Man, look what amazing happened when you get pressure on the quarterback. Those hit principles work.
It's just good to see that we were on the other end of the blowout.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's my thing. Because technically, 33-14, that's a blowout. On national TV, that's a blowout. And normally we on the other side of that. So for us to be able to be on the good side of a blowout, I'll take it all day long.
And your quarterback.
Are we going to the Super? Are we going to the Super Bowl? No, but just to have a refreshing Victory Tuesday tomorrow, where we gonna all be like, hey, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Beat down, right?
I just want to say something. Mike Patterson said, even when we were embarrassed, we were in it till the last play. That's true. That ain't true.
Right.
We lost.
That's true this year.
No, we lost 27-10 to Green Bay. That game was painful. They were not in it. They were not in it to the last play. They played against the Washington. Hold on. They played against the Washington freaking Commanders and lost 12-7. The score is no indication of it being close or us being in it. That was a crappy game. They should have mopped the floor with them. That was not close. That was downright embarrassing.
First lady, can I make Washington beat the bricks off Green Bay yesterday?
Oh, I'm happy they beat Green Bay, but they still watched the Commanders.
I was just gonna say.
You know me how long? I don't care about Green Bay. Everybody can beat the brakes off Green Bay. I don't care. That don't mean I want them beating us.
But First Lady, can I just tell you something? First Lady? Guess what? Guess what Green Bay record is? Guess what
I know, same as ours.
I'm good with that.
When we was texting each other, and I just wanted to share a comment that I said that in sports, sometimes being embarrassed is what makes players reach down deep inside.
Yep.
You know, and that statement when Justin Fields made after the game, it meant more than this on the surface, right? When he's saying, I'm tired of being close. But you know what? My thing when you say that is, go prove you tired of being close. Right. You go prove it. Right? He came out there and proved it today. He made good throws. He didn't get rattled with the one interception. He more decisive when he running the ball. He was reading the field. I mean, I was proud of that young man. He finished the game, I want to say I had it right here. I think it was 13 out of 21. What is it? 13 out of 21.
179
yards. Yeah, he had
82 yards rushing.
82 yards rushing. 1 TD.
A throwing TD and a rushing TD. Didn't he have one?
Good performance. You know. But I mean, all around. I mean, I'm happy for all of them, man. That to see those young guys and to see the Bears. And I noticed. I think I had mentioned this a few days ago. I mentioned today that even though the Bears had been having problems stopping the run, but their defense is actually was better than what we had been given credit to. And I started mentioning it last week, and I would say, hey, at the last week game, I said they're going to be about 16. Then I'm saying at the tonight game, they may be ranked about 11 or 12 because they're actually keeping the score down on teams. And even though teams might have been running good, actually, if they're not scoring, it's that bend and don't break philosophy.
Hey,
right?
But you know what though? I gotta give Justin Fields credit, man. I'm too tired of hearing all these quarterbacks when stuff go wrong. They look at everybody. Even if somebody else is screwing up on them, the one thing about, hey, what's up, Dr. Quick?
What's up, Mike?
Dr. Quick. But the thing is, what I love about him is he putting it all on him. He's like, okay, yeah, y'all can say they did such. I'm the quarterback, but here's something else I'm just looking at right now. It's mind-blowing, man. 19 rushes and 70 yards. 19 carries, 70 yards rushing. 3.7 yards. There it is. Final score was 33-14, Miss Love.
It wasn't that close.
No, it sure wasn't.
No, it really wasn't.
No, they actually could have had one more touchdown if they wanted to.
Right,
That's
because
like
I was actually sitting here like run it up. That's what Belichick do. Belichick run it up. Yep.
Oh, the jeans.
Eberflus took he took his foot off the gas. Like, okay, you know what? We'll just run the ball here and run it up. Like, treat people like they treat you.
Right.
But at the end of the game, we ended the game by kneeling, taking a knee on 4th and 1. We could have. There's no way they could have stopped us from getting another yard. They ain't stopped us all day. So we actually just took our foot off the gas pedal. So
hey, but we can say, I'm sorry. We can say anything we want to, but that right there is like somebody put dude in the headlock and just beat him and knocked him out and just let him lay for about 10 seconds to give him some smelling sauce and wake him back up. You all right? You all right? Here, come back here again. That's it, man. I'm impressed, man. I'm impressed. I mean, we got a ways to go, man, but at least this is a start.
Mike Quick said he's good. Mike won't be able to make it tonight because Mike is actually going to be on WVON tonight at 11 on the program. So those who want to turn to VON after we go off,
right after we go off,
after Mike. They're not going to be talking about the game. They're going to be talking about a lot of other stuff about high school sports. But anyway, looking at this performance. One other thing I want to note was the wide receivers must have took some of that criticism to heart the last, especially from the last week, because I can't recall any drop balls today. Did any of y'all remember any drop balls today?
I don't think
they got open.
When he did that hurry up offense, because he must have thought he dropped the ball, but he actually caught that ball too. So.
They got open today.
Jesus, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They got open today.
Pattis played well today. Pattis even had a couple of nice, I think, punt returns.
Yes, he did. Mm-hmm. Yes, he did.
Now, he scared me on the first one. He scared me on the first one because he almost buffed it.
Let's see how many throws.
Because the first one, he kind of like stumbled. I'm like, oh, man, here we go again with another muff. But he recovered well. He ran the ball well. And another thing I want to note in this night game, this may be one of the few night games where one of the teams actually had more than one score at the halftime. A lot of the games this year, one team don't score at the halftime. Because I think even last night, neither team scored at the halftime. I think the score
just think about it.
16 and nobody scored at the halftime.
And just think about it. As bad as the national people want to talk about how bad the Bears are, guess what? We still only giving up one touchdown in the second half all season. Mm-hmm. That's something to think about.
And that was from a muff punt. And that was from a muff punt, right, Jay?
Yep. Right. That was from a muff punt.
Muff punt.
That was from a muff punt. So that's something to think about. You know, we taking baby steps. We like Tammy said, we knew this year was going to be one of those years where we weren't going to be that good, but we taking baby steps. The Bears have given up one touchdown in the second half all season, and that's through seven games.
That's amazing.
7 games. So it's something to work towards.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Hey, what's on your mind, Plank?
First of all, I got several MVPs that I just want to note and
give out the trophies.
The first MVP I'm giving to the entire offensive line.
Man,
now, Justin Fields got sacked 4 times, and I looked at that game. I think all 4 of those sacks were his fault.
Was on him.
Yeah,
was on him.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You even heard the commentators saying, hey, you got to get rid of the ball. You know, we know he's tough. We know he wants to, make a completion, but sometimes he just needs to throw the ball away. So the offensive line absolutely carried the team because if you looked at the run blocking, the pass blocking, man, they were some dogs out there today. And I was watching Tevin Jenkins. Every play, man, he'd be crawling off somebody, and they was on their back. I don't care what they talking about with him. Hey, you know what? Mustafa actually looked like a confident second-string center.
Shoot, man.
All that stuff we've been talking about, getting Lucas Patrick out there, he gets out there and he hurts his pinky or whatever happened to him.
I got a pinky toe. My pinky toe hurt.
But
my pinky so hurt. Really, dude?
Yeah, we're gonna have to call Tevin Jenkins IHOP because he was pancaking the hell out of everybody. Number one. Two, is it just me or it just seemed like the offensive line went into stealth mode as soon as Lucas Patrick went out?
I said the same thing.
Might have been
Guy, I said the same thing. Guy, I said the same thing. I'm like,
even Mustafa came in. Mustafa must have.
I was like
steroids or something because he was out there like. I was like, oh shoot, he got.
I was like, Mustafa got to come back in, and I was really for the first the few couple of series after that. I'm like, Mustafa got to come back in. I'm like, okay. So now I'm watching it. I'm like, okay, that's a good block. That's a good block. Tevin Jenkins, you pancaking people. I'm like, okay, we gonna be all right. Lucas Patrick might be our problem.
Hey, but
I don't know if he's real or not, Sid. I don't know about that.
Yeah, he's real.
Maybe talking about Patrick
Mahomes. He's real fragile.
Mahomes.
But you know what? Hey, but you know what though? Another thing I can tell you out of everybody on the offensive line, and I'm not gonna harp on him as much, but gotta call a spade, man. Larry Borum had a kind of
bad game.
Yeah, but you know what? He's had a bad game, but I give him credit though. At least he's been fairly consistent all year. I mean, it is what it is, but
he's a fifth round draft pick
for New England. Yeah, exactly.
He's a fifth round Judon.
Yeah, that dude, man.
He's a fifth round draft pick.
Yeah,
and it showed tonight. It showed tonight. He's a fifth round draft pick.
Almost 300 yards against the New England Patriots.
Yeah,
trust me, they brought the funk today.
Man, yeah, they did.
Yeah,
because to Keith's point, you can look at it how bad some of the offensive linemen played.
Yeah,
but we almost had 300 yards rushing.
Next man up though.
So it's one of those things where you have to look at it like, yeah, you know, you can point out Borum was bad, and even Braxton Jones. It was a few plays where he was out there, and I was like, okay, this thing looking good. But totality, we had almost 300 yards rushing.
Next man up.
Yeah,
next man.
You know what? And the problem I saw a few times with Borum is sometimes Borum, his technique is bad sometimes. Where he comes up too high.
He's too high.
Exactly.
He's too high.
He right, and he's getting pushed back. But after more and more repetitions, he's going to get low, right? I mean, we know in sports, football, low man win.
Leverage.
Low man win, right? And so you have to get low under those good pass rushes, right? Because hey, those guys will take you and shove you back into the quarterback. But like I was proud to see those receivers accept the challenge of how, and they deserved all the criticism they was getting. I mean, you know, as much as I might have been showing things saying they were open, they was dropping just as many passes to almost make it seem like, well, they're open, but what do it matter? So, hey, you hang on to the ball. Look how wonderful that is. Now teams are getting against the rope. And when you looked at this game I think the Bears were at first kind of looked like the speed of the game changed when they changed to Zappy. And I think at first they had to adjust to it because Mac Jones was like, other than running the ball, I mean, he was throwing the ball extremely slow. He was taking all day to throw the ball. And it seemed like when Zappy first got in, the speed of the game sped up, right? And it seemed like that's how they scored because he got the ball out of his hand real fast and the defense had to adjust to that speed. But it seemed like
they called
the speed, that was it for them because they never scored again.
Well, they called a lot of play. They called once Zappy got in, it was like Belichick or Patricia or whoever called him the plays in New England. It was almost like they changed the play sequence. It was Zappy got in the game, and it was like, okay, Zappy in the game, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. And it just hit them so quick. It hit the Bears so quick. And I was like, okay, this ain't looking good. But they adjusted. And again, I give this coaching staff credit how they have adjusted in the second half and on the fly to make the necessary adjustments that they need to make.
Okay, so what was the significant changes in the mini bye? Because I know Coach Flu said, hey, we was going to look a few things and make some changes. Tammy, did you notice any changes? I know we talking about, but any notable change that it looked like he made that made a difference tonight?
I mean, I do think they opened up the playbook a little bit, and I think they stuck to what we do best. I mean, some of the play calling was still a little bit predictable here and there, but I think because they were effective running the ball, they were able to mix in more pass plays. Like, yeah, you guys know that I believe that we are a running team. I don't ever think we're going to be this super dominant Tom Brady or flashy offense throwing crazy passes, but you got to be able to mix it up. And I mean, even Tom Brady, like some people say, like he had some explosive plays here and there, but he dinks and dunks his way down the field. You got to take what's there when it's there and stop thinking that everything is supposed to be a big play. So an adjustment that they made was they did better at taking what was there. And I think they opened up the playbook better. They did something a little bit different and calling plays in the red zone, because that was our problem. We would move the ball even in other games, but we were playing like from the 20 to the 20 or the 10 to the 10,
Absolutely.
and it would be horrible in the red zone. The play calling would just get idiotic, in the red zone. And I think they did a better job at calling plays in the red zone, which is what we needed to do, because we were getting to the red zone but not converting when it mattered.
Yeah, Tammy, they were playing scared in the red zone most of the season. That's what I would say. They got real conservative in the red zone, which was leading to not scoring, right? Because when you get in the red zone, to me, run plays that's going to go to the end zone. But I like to thank everybody who's watching us tonight on YouTube and Facebook. Hey, what's up, DG Daniels here, regular watcher of this program. Thank you so much.
What's up, brother?
Hey, I
What's
see
up, bro?
Garrett said they used Justin Fields better tonight. I agree with that.
Hold on, man.
Charles said they rolled Justin out the pocket. That was very important early. I thought the scripted plays were very good early on in the game, moving them outside the pocket. We also have said you also could create big plays with athleticism. We have another Facebook user. I think this may actually be Larry Patterson. Yes, like what he said.
Kirk Herbstreit and Chris Collinsworth. That was truly biased and bad mouth. You see your boy Zappy come in, it was like I thought it was a porn movie. When he came in, it's like, Zappy, you're so great. After halftime, you ain't hear no words with no Z's in them no more. I'm like, with that old fanboy crap. It's like, man, especially Chris Collinsworth, man. You know what I think, man? I think Jack Tatum probably hit him a couple times too many on the crosses back in the days when he was a receiver with the Bengals. But what I cannot stand, call what you see. As soon as New England come out the tunnel, New England, they're just so great. Belichick, Zappy, and then as soon as they start losing, and Justin to the right. That was a pretty good. And Mooney's a pretty good guy. and even Troy Aikman, flip-flopping, but I give him credit. At least he got 2 chips or so. He got 3 chips. But, man, these guys, man, they dogging our guys out so bad, and they just make these other teams seem like they're the greatest thing since sliced bread. And when they lose, it's like, oh, really?
Yeah, because they already made up their mind on their narrative. They made up their mind on their narrative before the game started.
Right.
And they're sticking to that script until it doesn't work. That's just
they laughed at the beginning.
Bill Belichick said this was his original plan. No, it was not. That's why Zappy never came out the game. I was like, come on, y'all don't believe that he's going to put him.
One more thing, man. One more real quick thing. The best part about that win was this. When somebody said, they said the Bears are going to win. They were laughing at the beginning. And I'm like, Lord Jesus, I don't ask for much. I know I'm a heathen. But, Lord, just let us not just win, but beat the brakes off of them. Thank you, God.
Cedric, I just want to comment on Cedric's thing. Mm-hmm. You're exactly right. They don't give Justin Fields no credit. Their whole thing is like, well, he broke the pocket and he was able to run for the first down. Anytime he dropped back and stood in the pocket, poised, and made a pass, they didn't give him no credit for that. Mm-hmm. They didn't give him no credit for that. It's almost like they'll criticize him for breaking the pocket, but then they don't criticize him when he makes a stay in the pocket and make a great pass. Whatever.
Whatever. His only
whatever.
Back to Kurt Warner. Kurt Warner talked about some things that he did bad, but he kind of looks through it and says, "Hey, these things happen." Well, Chris Sims. Well, we had this kind of like bad thing about Chris Sims a couple years ago. Long time, but Kurt Warner, legit quarterback, is the one to tell you what he's doing wrong. But what he does is he looks at the wrong and he just like kind of micro, he just doesn't micro. He just makes it small and say, okay, yeah, you've only got this many games, but look at this. He the only one.
What you have, Plank?
Yeah, a couple things I wanted to say. First, Justin Fields. Let's be balanced about it.
Right.
He had a very good game. Justin Fields' biggest problem right now are the easy throws. He's missing.
Yep.
Most of his misses are happening on those gimmies. I don't know if he's overexcited or what have you. But as soon as he gets some cadence around that, I think we're going to really have something special. There was a Robert Quinn sighting today.
What? Not your boy. Not your boy.
Man, no more. And he tried to make a couple plays.
What?
Also, everybody thinks that we are against Roquan Smith. We're not. We call it like we see it. Today's game, he was a difference maker.
Mm-hmm.
You saw him actually making plays and stopping him from getting the first down and doing things like that. So that's what we like to see.
Right.
Lastly, those rookies are dogs. We need them out there. I love how the Bears came out. I gave them, I know it ain't time right now, but I gave them the offense. I gave them an A, especially when Getsy called that screen to Herbert. He outsmarted Bill Belichick immediately right there.
Mm-hmm.
Defense, I gave them an A. 4 turnovers and held them to 14 points. Special teams, 4 field goals. I gave them an A. This was
I cannot wait.
I have been looking for a number of years. What you got, Jay? What you got?
You know what, Plank, on that screenplay when you
Booker
say
McFarland.
that, man, you know me, man. I've been dogging. I wish I even had the clip. I've been dogging the Bears out on screens for about 2 years that the Bears could not run the screen.
Rightly so.
That screen was executed perfectly. Not only they outsmarted them, but the linemen were upfield blocking on that play. I mean, it ran so perfect. I was just like, man, I almost thought I was like, I almost thought it was gonna be a penalty, right? I almost thought it was gonna be a penalty. I'm like, they out here like blocking. I actually thought it was gonna be a penalty. I thought it was like they out here straight blocking. Right. but yeah, I have to give them credit. I do have to give them credit because they really showed up today. They showed up today, and like you said, Bernard, on the screen. I actually thought it was going to be a pill. I'm like, this cannot be this wide open, and ain't nobody that holding a flag. Illegal man downfield. But, yeah, they actually showed up today. The Bears really did a good thing today, and, we can take it for what it is. It's a grain of salt. We can take it for what it is, and we'll see what happened. We'll see what happened next week. I was telling one of my coworkers today, I wasn't even really thinking about this game. I was thinking about next week because Dallas and that we getting ahead of ourselves. But I'm like, Dallas and that pass defense, we'll see what happened. That rush, we'll see what happened. But this was a good victory. And for some reason, I kind of saw it coming. We're going to beat teams that we're not supposed to beat, and we're going to lose to teams that we're supposed to beat. Hey, we appreciate the kind words. Cedric Garrett said, appreciate y'all. This is great, man. Thank you. We appreciate that.
Appreciate it, Garrett.
Who stand up this late to watch.
Cedric, we appreciate it, Cedric.
People got to go to work tomorrow. Even if you work.
Y'all ain't going to even do nothing the first 2 hours at work unless you
Hey, I saw something there. What this says, actually, the Bears are doing this. The Patriots are not that good. Hey,
they 3-4.
But you know what? And here was my other thing. Remember, we did the show the other day, and something I said, I don't mean no disrespect. I said, but Washington's defense was better than New England's, and they was in the red zone 3 times against Washington. And that's when I started thinking about. I was driving home the other day. I was like, man, I'm gonna be shocked. But one thing I want to say about Roquan, I never had a beef with Roquan. My thing was really actually an observation. It seems like he's turning a corner. You've been doing 3-4 year and 3-4 year and 3-4. Now you got a guy who basically for about the last couple of weeks he's had to depend on athleticism. And for a guy like that caliber's got the athleticism and still got those numbers, that's great. It looks like now he's getting comfortable in running a 4-3, and that's scary. That's scary. Because he did that. Because when he did that pause, he came in and shot that gap. I'm like, I guess he ain't thinking 3-4 no more. But that was my only thing. I never had a gripe. Mine was more so him trying to reacclimate himself to being in a 4-3.
Yeah, I want to move up to the defense in a second, but since you mentioned Roquan, I want to mention too is that's the side of the field of getting used to seeing the field different, because that is a difference from playing in the middle of the field to now you on the left to the right, right? And so even the way you angle at tackles, he had to make that adjustment or still making that adjustment on how you run to make that tackle in there.
Right.
So a lot of times when people look at sports, they sometimes don't realize that stuff ain't easy.
It ain't.
It's like a receiver who plays on one side of the field, and he may be good on that side, but every receiver cannot play the X, Y, and the Z.
The X, Y, and the Z.
Well,
there you go.
Right.
There you go. Everybody can't do
like
it. Everybody can't do it.
A corner, all corners can't travel. Some corners can only play on one side of the field, right? And they be locked down on that side of the field. But if you start taking them on the other side of the field, I mean, it's a total different story. But let's get the grades for the offense. Then we could go and praise the defense. I give the offense an A tonight.
Whoa!
Who else got a grade for the offense?
I give him a B. I give him a B.
Exactly.
I still ain't ready to give him an A yet. I still ain't ready to give him an A yet. I give him a B, but I'm gonna tell you there was some growth tonight. There was really some growth. I mean, to go into a hostile environment in Gillette Stadium and able to come out with 33 points.
That's what I'm saying.
That's big.
Wow.
That's big. I'm not gonna give him. I'm not gonna give him an A. I don't care what you said, Keith. I'm not gonna give him an A. I will give him a B.
Is they had 33 points at New England and took their foot off the gas.
Yes.
I don't know what it is.
Yes. I'm not ready to give them an A yet. I will give them a B, and I will settle. For that. I get an offensive B.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay. I know Plank gave his grade. Guy Tammy, I got a grade. That's it.
Look, 243 yards rushing. They averaged Jim Brown type average, 5.4 yards per carry. Yeah, they did have a pick. Justin held onto the ball a little bit. He got sacked and all that stuff. But when was the last time we scored 33 points? I mean, and we got to put them on a curve because it ain't like they like the greatest. They're not like Kansas City on offense, but for a team to have what we have, the pieces that we have with the coaching staff and everything new, and they're able to go in a hostile environment. And regardless, because they don't get to call who they play, you can say New England's 3-4 and all this, that, and the third, but they don't get to choose who they play. They went in and scored 33 points. There it is. Hey,
okay.
The last Facebook person, and I totally agree with you. Third down conversions was so key tonight. We converted on third down, and I'm not talking about 3rd and 1, 3rd and a half yard. We had some third down 10, third down to 14s. I think we had a third down to 20 that we actually converted on. So yeah, you're exactly right. We did.
They were shooting like Jay. They were shooting hard.
That's the kind of comments we usually get from Dino Ivory, and I haven't seen him out there for a minute. So I was like, "Is that who that was?" So
it could
I
be
always
because
like
you can't see their name.
Dino.
Yeah, it could be Dino. Don't see their name. Yeah,
11-18 or third
What you
down.
got, Tammy? What's your grade on offense?
To some degree, I'm kind of with Jay. I'm not ready to give him an A. I'll give him a B plus though. And I will say that, yeah, it is partially because of the pick. It's also because even though, I mean, they did much better on third down conversions. They did much better in the red zone. They made some things happen, but an A quarterback or an A offense, a quarterback on an A offense would get over 200 yards, which Justin had a great game, but he still ain't there. And the pick and I wouldn't really so much say the sack, but I would, because sacks can happen to anybody, but I would say B plus because I still think we got some work to do.
Oh, that was Kerry Lofton that
and that's my
made
thing.
That comment. And,
that's my thing. We still got work to do.
That's a great point, First Lady.
We still got work to do.
Because when you we did have a couple of negative plays on some possessions, right, where we had a couple of like fumbles and like bad snaps and stuff like that. But
just to take a sacks.
Yeah,
just to take a sack that he shouldn't have to take.
Down for those, mistakes, right? Because in previous games, it's like a negative play ended up being compound with another negative play.
With a negative play, yep.
Yeah. Yep. Hey, Plank, what you got? What you have on your man, Plank?
I already gave him A's on everything. I'm just arguing with everybody else. I don't understand how y'all do your grading.
Because we want better. We want better. We want better.
Hey, you sure you didn't go to Lindblom, Jay?
Right.
Y'all getting them AP physics grades, man. Jay went to Lindblom. Y'all grade on the straight up slide. I'm looking at. I'm kind of giving a little bit.
I'm usually the one who's giving the tough grades, right? I'm usually the one talking about D minuses.
I guess I was that
time. Wait, Keith went to Simeon, Jay went to Lindblom, had Miss Thompson and Miss Miller.
I didn't go to Lindblom. No, I didn't go to Lindblom.
Not grading on curve.
She knows.
But I mean, I will say like we made progress and it was good to see, and I'm happy that we won, and I hope we continue to make progress. But Justin does still need to learn when to let go of the ball.
I want more.
And he does have more confidence. And, Keith, remember the scene in Purple Rain, like when, Morris Day was auditioning, Apollonia 6 and whatever, and he said, I want to see some wiggling.
Right.
Yeah. But I gotta change my grade to a B plus, man.
You gotta have perfection. We ain't there.
I gotta change my grade.
Like I said, I know
I want perfection. I want perfection.
Yeah, y'all know I'm always the toughest grade on everything. So I you know what, y'all making me move off my grade a little bit.
Yeah, I'm going to a B plus,
for me to give an A. I'm not.
I want perfection
on the curve, right? So
I got a grade because I was thinking about too is out of those 4 times, like there are times where Justin was at a point where you already got your leg whipped out and you made it out. That's when he should have just said, bam, let me just throw it out of bounds. And it's like he was trying to do too much. I get he's trying to make plays, but at that particular point, take the down. So
because he took some sacks. He took some sacks tonight. I was like, wow, really, dude? No, you can't do this. You cannot do this. That first sack that he took, and they lost, I think it was 14 yards they lost. I'm like, dude, you got to throw the ball away. Yeah. So I'm happy, but at the same time, like Morris Day say, ladies, let's have some action. I want some perfection.
Yeah.
I want some perfection.
They would have got a B, but they got the plus because they actually did get 33 points that we haven't gotten. Justin did have more confidence, and they had much better results in the red zone and on third down conversions. That's why they get the plus.
When was the last time the Bears
scored?
When was the last time the Bears scored 33 points though?
Right.
And Keith,
dust off the history book.
I don't buy into those participation awards. Like they ruined a whole generation giving participation awards.
Right.
I agree.
No,
Right.
Mike Day said, sounds like people still have a lot of PTSD still with our quarterback just 17 games in. Now, I go up, but you know what, Mike? But if you heard some other shows, I wouldn't even say 21. I'd even go to about maybe 30 or so, because about 30 is when you're going to kind of really see what he really has. Because at 21, with what we have right now, still puts us in this season with the personnel that we have, I can see him getting better, but I don't see him getting exponentially better with what we have. And I don't mean no disrespect with our squad, but what we got is what we got. And I just don't see him. I can see him making some little incremental changes, but I don't see him getting better until next year and we get some more pieces around us.
Yeah, you know what? I think right now, I mean, I don't have any stats to back this up or any analysis, but I do think somewhere between 25 to 20 attempts is where Justin Fields is kind of at his best. You know, you would like to have your quarterback with more attempts than that, right? Because he's completing somewhere between 10 to 13 passes on average every game, which is kind of low, but that's okay because it's growth. What you want is growth and consistency, and you don't want him overthinking some of the plays, and you don't want the negative plays to amount. But that's the only reason I gave an A tonight was because in my mind I did grade on the curve on some of the adversity, but the ability to score was they did it on their own, which to me what I like. It wasn't like stuff was set up. I mean, they had a few turnovers but you saw the offense consistently drive down the field, which I thought was so important. But as far as the defense, I thought the defense played well. It was scaring me a little bit early on because the quarterback was getting too much time when Mac Jones was in there initially, and he had broke containment and ran a few times. But it didn't mount to nothing other than a couple of scrambles and all that. But I thought they locked down. I thought they pressured the quarterback well. Guys batted down passes. I mean, the tackling has improved over the weeks. I mean, the first 2 weeks we was killing them on how poorly they was tackling. Looked like the last 3 weeks, even in the Washington game, the players were tackling much better. And tonight, I don't recall seeing no missed tackles tonight. So as far as defense, I give them an A as well. What about you, Plank? What you got? I see you. Gesture.
You know, I gave the defense an A+. I mean, when Mac Jones, the first two series,
of course you would.
I'm a lot harder than that. The first two series, they got 2 3-and-outs, and then they got a 5-play drive and stopped it there. So if that's not good defense, I don't know what is.
I tell you what, though, I wish some of them players kick Brisk in the ding-ding more often. He kicked in the ding-ding. Next thing you know, he like, I'm like, kick him again. I'm not changing. I got to get him an A. Regardless, they get burned on the one play when Zappy throws the ball, whatever it is, man. But them dudes, like I said, the tackles improved immeasurably. Them dudes was hitting them guys. Briscoe was like flying all over the place. And we had a Robert Quinn sighting. So just that alone gives me an A.
Yeah, hey, Mike Day said he mentioned about the Bears blitzing in the red zone. And that's what we talked about in the pregame about the Bears blitzing, right? And so they blitzed Roquan on the play. I mean, Roquan, I want to say, had a sack. He almost had 2 sacks today, I want to say. But he had a sack and a half. Right? Yeah. He had the 2 interceptions. But you saw them put pressure on the quarterback by blitzing, which, like I said in the pregame, we talked about that. Hey, you haven't been able to get there with your 4 guys. So bring somebody else. Stop being arrogant about it, right? You can't get there. Bring help. Make that quarterback uncomfortable. Hey, what you got, Jay, about the defense?
I actually give that defense an A+.
Whoa!
Because, yes. I give we have played 7 games and we have gave up 1 touchdown in the second half. I believe when we went to halftime, was it 14-10 that the Patriots were leading 14-10?
Yep, 14-10.
Yeah.
What was the final score?
33-14.
You gotta give them an A+. You gotta give them an A+. You gotta give them an A+.
Man.
And they actually played a complete game today. And I have to give it to him. So A+ for the defense, most definitely.
Man. Nice. Tammy, I see you got that look. What? You ready to talk about the defense?
I know you like that, Frank.
Well, y'all know at heart I am truly a defensive girl, and I believe Chicago is and always and should be a defensive team because I think that's where we do our best. And when our defense delivers, we perform better overall. When our defense holds them and the offense scores, we win. Even if the defense doesn't score, I mean, it's even better when they do score. But if the defense holds them and the offense gets up some points, we win. I think, even though, and y'all know this, I still think that y'all were a bit hard on Roquan Smith. The defense is a unit. It's hard to give the defense praise. And Keith, you know this because you said it all last year too. It's hard for us to often give the defense praise when we're losing because we don't fully appreciate what they do and what they're contributing because at the end of the day, we lost. And
individually.
So we're not happy. But it's hard to see what an individual defensive player is doing when they aren't clicking on all cylinders, especially on the line. So I still believe and feel that Roquan has been contributing all season. And I think that when the defense gives him support, you are able to see the things that he's doing a little bit better because they do make more of a difference. But they're making more of a difference, in my opinion, because everybody is putting in work. I give the defense an A+. I love when our defense shows up and shows out. I think it's when we play our best football.
Okay. Hey, great point, Tammy. You know, hey, y'all already know with me, man. When you're doing good, I'm gonna praise you. When you're doing not so good, I'm gonna say it. You know, so hey, y'all already know that's me. So, hey, guy, what you have?
Oh, I'm looking at DG, man. He said Trent
Brown
that was playing
like a slow jam was playing. I was trying to get to. Yeah, that's what I was trying to get to. I was trying to get to some of these comments.
He ain't lying though, but you know,
I'm trying to get to some of these comments.
But then too, a lot of things with Roquan, I think a reason why a lot of things are amplified as good as he is. A lot of times, when he's not as effective or if he's being double teamed. A lot of times, guys, you just got guys, other guys got to step up. I think guys are so used to him coming in, getting his 10 tackles and filling up gaps and stuff like that. But when he's not at some top parts of the year, it just seemed like guys seem somewhat sort of shell-shocked. But when he has a good game, it's like everybody has a great game. But, you know, hey, man, got to get them boys an A, man. Definitely got to give them an A.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Plank. I know you talked about the defense already. You had anything else to say about the defense? Oh, we lost Sammy. Okay.
They were great. So I'm going to just leave it at that and be quiet and take my victory today.
Okay. Hey, so did we see as far as looking at the secondary, you know, that was a unit that was kind of maligned more so Kyler Gordon was being maligned a lot this year. And I guess that was one of the weird things, too, as Bears fans that we do at times is we kind of troll each other, right? Like we'll troll each other. Like, I like this player, and since you like that player, I hate that player, right? Mm-hmm. And it was like we was trolling. I ain't saying me. I wasn't trolling him, but people was trolling Kyler Gordon. Right, you didn't even hear his name called tonight.
Yeah, no tackles.
They went throwing to his man.
Right, but see,
he got a pick. We heard his name,
and he got a pick.
Incremental growth.
Incremental growth.
It's like what Scottie Pippen went with Kurt.
Played a good game too.
Who was that?
Kurt.
Kendall Gilder, who gets no love.
Mr. Vildor, because you know I was on his backside last year. Mr. Vildor, that's what I'm calling.
This Bears secondary right now is carrying our defense. It really is. I mean, you know, you got some teams that's actually running the ball against us, but they can't pass the ball against us. No. You know, you got Eddie Jackson recreating his career some kind of way. You got the rookie Brisker and Gordon and Kendall Vildor has came out of nowhere. Jalen Johnson, we don't even hear his name because they don't even throw the ball his way. So our secondary is really leading the charge on defense. And as long as we can stop the run, we got a chance. We got a chance.
It's a big difference when your secondary now can cover, but they can stick.
It almost seemed like a throwback game. As a matter of fact, there were a couple instances where I was watching the game, and the Bears were putting a couple of hits on them that you could hear it coming through the TV, that you looked at it and was like, oh. It felt like back in 1985 or 2006. The Bears actually brought it on offense and defense, from the pancaking to special teams. This was a whole team win. I know I keep saying that, but I'm extremely impressed, and it's about time. I'm glad they stopped that 3-game losing streak.
But it's an impressive win, Keith. This was an impressive win.
Yeah.
Because this was a game.
I know the way you talk about defense, Plank. I would like to do a Bears Banter 1-on-1 this year on football. I'm not football, but on defense. I definitely would like to do something where we talk about gap assignments, right? Because what I believe we saw earlier this year was guys not playing their gap correctly. Being in the wrong gap, or even with the linebackers, right? You had linebackers shooting the wrong gap, right? Because everybody is learning when you're installing the defense. But I think that would be a great show this year. And I know we talked about this, about when defenses say the offense is in a 12 personnel set or a 13 personnel set, and you may hear the announcers say stuff like that. And I think we'd be doing a lot of favors to our fan base to maybe define some of that, because that sounds odd. How are they in a 13 personnel base when there's only 11 people on the field, right? So I think that would be some good information. But hey, let's move over to special teams. Hey, Jay, what do you think happened with special teams tonight? I mean, did we see
Cairo Santos is money.
Santos
special teams, punt return coverage, A plus. A plus.
Tammy, special teams.
I mean, I'll give him an A. I mean, normally Cairo is going to get us A by himself, and sometimes we judge special teams separately, so it's kind of a given that we're going to give him an A. We had Robbie Gold, who was good as gold, and we have Santos, who guy likes to call Santos Claus. So he's reliable. He's reliable, and to Jay's point, special teams delivered overall. We had better punt returns. We had, other than the muff punt, but we had better overall decision making on punt returns and making an execution. So, and of course, Santos was on point as he always is. So.
Somebody catch the ball. That's all we want. I don't even want nobody to return it. Just catch the ball. Fair catch it and catch the ball, and then we'll go from there. But like me and Tabby said, hey, I got an A plus.
Okay. Hey, anybody else got a grade on special teams?
Yeah, I already gave you special team A plus. A good punt return, 4 field goals. All of that. Also, I would be remiss if I didn't mention this. The coaches got an A, because Getsy on many of those plays outsmarted Belichick, and the defensive coach Williams actually also outsmarted Matt Patricia. So, we were talking about how Belichick was gonna pass Hallis today and get to be the second all time.
Yep. He didn't do it.
Winning coach or whatever, and the Bears said,
"Not on our watch. Not on our watch."
You get a win next week. Today we're gonna hit you in the mouth.
Hey, I'm gonna give special teams a 8 tonight, and one of the reasons I'm gonna give them, not only they execute well, but Tammy said something I definitely agree with: making better decisions in special teams, right?
Absolutely.
When to bring the ball out and when not to bring the ball out. And those field goals couldn't have been easy tonight, because it was raining pretty good tonight, and kicking a wet ball. I believe a wet ball is harder. right? So as the footballs get wet, they kind of get more stiffer,
a little heavier.
And all those balls went through. They're clean, So A from me on special teams, guys. Special teams.
Gotta give them A+. I'd rather be good than smart, because when you're good and you do great, it's great. But when you're smart and you don't do well, then people start questioning your intelligence. No disrespect. I know your boy got 6, but that's all they can talk about. Oh, he's so intelligent. Oh, he's got one more before he gets this record. Oh, he's got this. They wouldn't even say Belichick at the end of the game. You know what I'm saying? So they were supposed to. My thing is, and it's almost like the difference between that guy and the boxing match that comes out on this big old Christmas Day float and the chiffon, and he all great. And then you see the other dude ain't got no theme music, ain't nothing but some shorts and some boxing gloves. He beat the brakes off the dude. So now that's what I love about it. I gotta give them an A+, man, because they did great. My boy Santos Claus was like, ho ho. Yeah.
Hey, so coaching, I give coaching staff I get a coaching staff an A tonight. I think Plank gave this coaching staff an A. Hey, anybody else got grades on the coaching staff?
I give them an A just because you don't go to Gillette Stadium, you don't go to Foxborough and win games at the magnitude that they won it. Because again, people can say, "Oh, the Bears won." No, the Bears blew the Patriots out tonight, and that doesn't happen in Foxborough a lot. So I'm gonna give them credit. I'm gonna give them credit for blowing the Patriots out at home at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. So yeah, they definitely get an A from me.
Okay, and Tammy, you got a grade for the coaches.
As hard as it is, I will give them an A. And the reason is I'm still on the fence about what it is they're gonna do long term. But however, specifically for this game,
right.
I will give them an A. They made better play calls in the red zone. They made better play calls on third down conversions. They helped put us in a position to win. Now we will just see if they keep it up. I hope they do. I hope they're smart about the plays that they call. I hope they're smart about the things that our players can actually deliver at this point in time and use the talents of the people that we have so that we're not embarrassed.
Okay. Guy, coaching.
Absolutely an A. I mean, think about it. I mean, I don't even have no words for it. And it's kind of weird because they made the adjustments they needed to make. Number 2, it was like all that thing that I always say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They didn't do a whole lot of stuff like out of the just way outside the box. It's like, oh, this works. Okay, we're gonna run this play, run this play. Okay, run that play again. And it worked out to our favor. Just like I say, you go up in Gillette Stadium, I don't care what type of record New England got. It's hard to win up there. They get 33 points in New England. And the genius gets to go home and just tell everybody how smart he is because he can't count to 33.
Yeah. I think when Coach Flutes talked about some of the changes that they were going to make, I thought the most important change they made that it showed tonight is from themselves, the coaches themselves. They made personnel change.
I agree.
Right.
I agree.
And that became important, and they made better decisions, I thought, in this game.
Yeah.
Because this going to the Washington game, I know you need touchdowns, but you should have took some field goals in that game too. You sat there and got to that red zone. I know as much as, like I mentioned in the pregame show, as much as everybody was vilifying Justin Fields missing that throw and them getting empty possessions, well, they didn't criticize the coach for not taking field goals in a game that actually ended up being 12 to 7.
12 to 7.
Right. With the other team
5-point
got
game.
a touchdown because of a muff punt, right? And those field goals would have won you that game, right? Because at least 2 of them, I know one, you got an interception, nothing you could do about that, but you definitely passed on at least 6 points in that game, which would have put you 13 to 12, even if you still had the muff punt. So I believe the coaches made better decisions in this game as well. And even though Lucas Packers ended up going out of this game, I don't know if I don't wish no injuries on nobody, but I haven't seen
my toe.
I mean, that guy. I mean, unfortunately, he one of those guys, man. It just seemed like, I mean, say Green Bay, they say he was hurt all the time, right? And now he get opportunity here. As soon as he get here, he get his hand is broken in preseason, and then he comes off the hand injuries, he gets blown out. Then all of a sudden, he got a little injury today and get carted off. You're like, man, you know,
dude.
But I'm gonna tell y'all,
we caught out.
But I'm gonna tell y'all, if y'all watch Michael Schofield, he actually played pretty well today.
He played pretty good.
Yeah.
If you look at him, it's a minor victory, but he actually played pretty well today. You know, and now we got Mustapha back in the picture, and
I'm telling you,
I don't want to blame it all on Mustapha, but he's bad. But Schofield played pretty good. He played pretty well today. The offensive line totally played pretty well today. They gave Justin, and I don't know if it was one of those things where it's like they reshuffled stuff and they reassigned everything, which I know ain't no reassignment because the assignment is what the assignment is. But the offensive line played pretty well today, and Michael Schofield, he played pretty well. He played pretty good.
But you know what though? I'm gonna tell you, sometimes the best coaching is when you instill some type of trust in a player. Like this kid comes back, they bring him back. He got cut, they bring him back. So from a psychological standpoint, it's like, yeah, you know what, you wasn't good enough to make the first cut, but you know what, you one of the first guys we call back. Two with Mustapha, they bench Mustapha and they bring him back in. So sometimes psychologically, you kind of got to reset guys, you know, but then too, a lot of times, some of the greatest adjustments that you can make is to get a player to believe in himself. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it takes like sitting on the bench or not starting or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So we need everybody. Hey, Daryl L. Murcielago.
Bring that comment.
Bring
that last comment up. Just the comment right here. Because I tell people, everybody was talking about this game. I wasn't even worried about this game because I'm like, if the Bears lost this game, they was going to lose. Next week against Dallas, that's the game I'm worried about. That pass rush that Dallas bringing, it ain't no joke. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm glad the Bears won today, and I'm confident we going forward. But we'll see what happens next week in Dallas, and I'll give y'all my assessment on that one next week.
Okay. You know what? I was so excited. I forgot to even bring up the record today. I was so excited about us winning today. Hey, so I'm gonna do these records and close out because I know it's getting late. Thank you so much, Tammy, for staying up late with us.
They're not changed. They're not changed. They're not changed. That's last week's record.
Mitri and 4 Ross Klotz.
Oh, you know what?
Some of us are changed.
So Jay is what is it in game 7?
5-2.
5-2.
Guys,
give me my props.
Come on, did I bring up the wrong?
3 and 4.
Give me my props.
Save because when you change this thing, you got to hit save. Guys, 3 and 4. Quick is 3 and 4. I'm 3 and 4. Look like I'm about heading up to say it was Tammy's 3 and 4, Mo 3 and 4, Christian 3 and 4, Plank 3 and 4. So it looked like the first 3 people didn't change.
We are the NFL.
We are the NFL, which stands for not for long.
Right. So the game against Dallas is what's the game at Dallas? Is it at Dallas or is it in Chicago?
It's in
Dallas. It's in Dallas.
I was supposed to go too, man.
That's scary.
Well, what I was going to say is, you know, a lot of people are saying that, well, I'm not going to say a lot of people. Some people said, and one person in particular said earlier that, well, you know, I think they were kind of discounting the Bears win tonight a little bit by saying that the Patriots weren't very good. There's a lot of not so great football going on right now.
Right.
Absolutely.
So I don't really think that we should discount, you know, their win because, I mean, at the end of the day, Bill Belichick is still one of the best coaches to ever coach in NFL. Glad he didn't beat Papa Bear George Halas on our watch today. But, you know, I think that, Jay, I don't know if it was you that said it last week or if it was Guy, that said that when the Bears win, a lot of people want to discount their win versus who they were playing against. You know, I think that we have to give them credit where credit is due, and when they show up, we know we got work to do, but when they show up, we got to give them the credit that they deserve.
And the truth of the matter is, take the worst team in the league, and another segue is you ain't a football fan.
Who is that?
You ever watch some football? Look, and the Texans or whatever. But and one side, I'm gonna put this off in the box right here. You ain't a football fan if you wasn't at least drooling and half asleep at some of the games this year. And number two, Houston Texans are the worst team in the league. They could play any team outside the NFL, and I guarantee you they will win by at least 3 touchdowns. Any team on this planet outside the NFL. So they don't get to choose. They don't choose who they play. You the next one up, you show up. You beat them, you lose. You might have one win or something like that. But like I say, you could take Alabama right now and play the Texans, and the Texans are dog walk.
Yeah, and the bottom line is, and the bottom line is,
Jay.
I was just gonna say
about 65% of the league is probably 3 and 4, and if you add in the people who have won less than 3 games, about 70% of the league is 3 and 4 or 2 and 5. 2 and 5. So to say trying to discount the win, the Bears are at where the average teams are at right now. So you're all on an even playing field, even the Super Bowl champs from last year. I mean, they're not doing what they want. 2 games so far? Or I think they won 3. What they won 3?
3, 2, 3. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's 4 good teams in the NFL right now. And I can say really 3.5. You got the Chiefs, the Bills, Philadelphia, and the 3.5 is Dallas. Outside of that, everybody is mediocre. This is a year of parity, and we're going to have to accept that. And I'm cool with that because the bottom line is, it is what it is.
But to go show you real quick, y'all talk about, these players, they make a difference. Yeah, they do, but it's a cohesive unit. Ask the 49ers. They got Christian McCaffrey. What happened to them?
Brakes got beat off them.
Yeah, we need to talk about that.
The doors got blew off of them yesterday. The Chiefs, hey, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Man. The Chiefs ain't no punk. The Chiefs ain't no punk. The Chiefs, it needs to be an AFC versus an AFC Super Bowl between the Bills and the Chiefs right now because they are the top 2 teams. I don't want to discredit my boy Jalen Hurts. I love him. But I'm going to tell you something. The Chiefs and the Bills are the cream of the crop right now.
And wait, Jay, you forgot. Surprisingly, actually, the Giants are 6-1.
Cut it out. Cut it out. Cut it out. Cut it out.
I think the Jets are 5-2.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're 5-1. Yeah, the Giants are 5-1. The Jets
the Giants are 6-1.
They 6-1, and the Jets are 5-2. But really, when the playoffs come, really, are we talking about Super Bowl with the Jets or the Giants? I don't think so.
Well, I don't know. Just saying, any given season.
I'm just saying.
Hey, we had that one year with who was that? It was the I know we kind of straying off. We had that year where the who was that? The Giants. The Giants were struggling all through that year.
I know where you're going with this too.
Running to the undefeated New England Patriots. I mean, it almost they almost didn't even make the playoffs that year, right?
Eli Manning, that was the Eli Manning year.
They rested their starters, right?
That was the Eli Manning year.
They rested their starters. The Giants squeaked in there, and the Giants.
But I'm gonna tell y'all something.
Super Bowl that year.
But I'm gonna tell y'all something.
Patriots, who I was rooting for, right? I mean,
they run it back too, didn't they? Jets.
And we don't want to talk about the year that Aaron Rodgers should have been in the Super Bowl. They gave him his only Super Bowl. They shouldn't have been either.
Yeah, because the Bears decided they was going to rest their starters.
We know why.
We ain't going to talk about that. But I'm gonna tell you. But I'm gonna tell you something, Tabby. For real. The Jets and the Giants, they fan base can get real pumped up. They gonna go one and done in the playoffs if they make the playoffs.
I ain't saying nothing about the Jets. I'm just surprised by the Giants.
It's a good story. But you can't say nothing about you can't say something about the Jets because guess what? The AFC East, the Jets are in first place. Who would have
I'd
thought?
like to thank everybody who tuned in tonight. The Bears got a victory Monday, winning against the Patriots 33-14. A
blowout,
complete annihilation of
blowout.
Bill Belichick, and not allow him to exceed Papa George Hallis.
Papa Bear Hallis.
Right. So hey, we get that victory. It's not on our watch. So thank you all for watching. Looking for you on the pregame show on Friday. Peace.
Peace.